pro to yet another amazing episode, Enhancement of Entrepreneurship in Church. I'm so glad for those who are watching us, those who have followed us, and those who give us support through comments. Continue to do that, Christians, please. And we love you so much. Never forget that God, after God loving you, we love you too. Yeah. I'm glad today I'm hosting one of amazing people that I know. I'm so glad that I was graced to meet this man. He's a very humble guy with a very big profile, an entrepreneur, a leader, a mentor, an inspirer. I'm so glad. And let's hear what he has to say today. And if you are wise enough, please tune in so that you can get some insights, like good insights with a lot of experience. Yeah. Mr. Asha,
Thank you,
kindly
Diana.
introduce yourself.
Thank you, Diana. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I will start by saying that my name is Iga Zinunula Samuel, and I particularly emphasize the question of names.
Okay.
Iga is my surname. I'm of the Ngavi clan. I come from the King's Old County of Budu.
Okay.
Zinunula is my proverbial name.
I
And
love the name Zununula, by
yes,
the way.
it may take a bit of time to explain it, but it has a lot of meaning for me. And it wasn't given me by my parents, unlike my surname. I gave it to myself. And today, every one of my children has a proverbial name. Chitata, Ganyana. Our proverbial names give a lot of meaning. So if you take Chitata, for example, Chitata muimate chimala konte. So you have hope, you have faith as long as you're alive. Ganyana, Kengoma, Chitwala, I give them proverbial names. And today, I am grandparent, so I'm the one person, my father having passed away, I'm the one person that the young ones are now bringing their children to name. So I give them proverbial names unless their parents object.
Okay.
And then I'm Samuel, the name that I have from the Bible. And if one was to look up, one would find that I'm a veterinary assistant. I first trained as a veterinary assistant.
Okay.
Sometimes you find people calling me doctor. I'm not a veterinary doctor, I'm a veterinary assistant, but people call you by what you do. And so I'm a veterinary assistant, and then I'm trained as an agriculturalist. I've been a rural development worker for more than 30 years. I've worked in different parts of Uganda, actually in all parts of Uganda, and quite a bit in the rest of Africa. And also, I write. I mostly write poetry.
That's true.
That's how I got to meet you,
Yes.
Diana, in the
The
Readers
Writers
Club.
Club.
And I also, every now and again, will have an article in the newspaper. I worked in different places, but the one place that impacted me most as far as entrepreneurship and enterprise is concerned is Enterprise Uganda. Enterprise Uganda is our national center for small and medium enterprises.
Yeah.
In fact, they've just moved to their own building in Butarika,
Okay.
the Enterprise Uganda Center of Excellence, where we are supposed to be able to train, mentor, coach people in entrepreneurship. I worked with Enterprise Uganda for quite a few years. And then I am a shareholder and director in a family business that is in real estate, Little Attics Limited. And I also do farming, coffee, and I'm going into beef now.
Wow. You are the right person that we needed for this topic.
Let me also mention that my wife and I, being the shareholders in the family business, for quite some time now, we've been working on rural water.
Okay.
We work with families in Budu, specifically in Ruengo, to harvest rainwater. And right now we are working on a project to have piped water through the village.
The
And we work,
village of Budu.
yeah, in Nachenyi, in Budu, in
Okay.
Luengo district.
Wow.
So water, and we're setting it up as a social enterprise, meaning it's not just philanthropy, it has to sustain itself. So I'm a great believer in being slow but being sustainable, rather
Okay.
than get a lot of aid and work
they don't
it
have
for 3-4 years
sustainability.
and then you cannot proceed with it. Yeah, so that's what informs my entrepreneurship.
Would like to
Steady.
be entrepreneurs. We have the right person. I'm here to learn. Here to learn. All right. Before even we go deeper into our question, how have you been?
As me,
Yes.
to be very honest with you, I I could be better.
Okay.
I don't mind telling you that in the last couple of years, I've struggled quite a bit with my health.
Okay.
Your organization is Christians that explore. I like to explore.
Okay.
I belong to a group called the Overwhelmers, which we founded with some people you know,
Okay.
and we climb mountains.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yes, so Muhabura, Elgon, Moroto, Kilimanjaro, we
Yeah.
climb mountains. Now, about a year and a half ago, I joined the Joe Walker Walk to Fort Portal from
Joe
Kampala.
Walker.
Yes,
What? Walking from Fort Potro to
from
Kampala?
Kampala to Fort Portal, sorry.
That's a very long journey.
Yeah, 300 kilometers. And we did it successfully. But that's the last long walk I've had. Since then, little things have happened to my body.
Okay.
And eventually it was discovered that, let me be very honest here.
Okay. It's okay.
It was discovered that I suffer what is called autoimmune disease. And so I've been struggling with that.
What is that?
Yeah, it's a situation where your body fights itself. And it should ideally be termed a syndrome, because it might be that it's your eyes which are affected and there's no cause. They can't say
They don't know.
this is the organism that is causing you problems. It
Okay.
might be your bowels, and they can't say you picked up dysentery. It's just that your body fights itself. So I've been struggling with that. And of course, when you have something like that, in my case, my nerves are affected. So I can't do my walking, I can't do my exploring.
Sorry.
I'm very glad that now we know, because it's been a while and we didn't know. But with the doctors now we know, and we are working on that. It affects you emotionally as well, and so that has kind of lulled my like entrepreneurial exploration. But we go on, and we're grateful that we are. So you can say that.
And
Right now, I'm
God-
70%, 80%, not necessarily 90, 100. I still go about my life,
Okay.
and I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And God is going to heal you.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now let's dive into our topic.
How have you been?
I've been good. By the way, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I've been good. I've been good. A few little challenges around here and there. But I've been good.
Okay.
I thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Health wise,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Family?
Family, we are good.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Thank the Lord,
God.
the Almighty.
So before we dive into our topic today is enhancement of entrepreneurship in church. You know, we want to improve entrepreneurial skills in church. Church community is one of the biggest community, especially in Uganda. But our entrepreneurship skills are a bit lacking. And I don't know, we don't know it all. We are not there, but the man that I have here right now, he has experience in entrepreneurship. And if you can tune in, you get an insight from him. Before we go into the deeper things, I want us to understand what is entrepreneurship.
Oh,
Because I may know, you may know, some people may know, but there is that one person who doesn't know. They don't even understand what is entrepreneurship.
okay. Thank you, Diana. I will take it from my personal perspective. Books will say different things, but I think it becomes extremely important to personalize it. And the way I view entrepreneurship is that you take up the responsibility to start and develop enterprise that will address particular needs. And you take up the challenge and responsibility to start and continue, grow an enterprise that will address particular needs.
Okay.
And it might be that the needs are obvious, like, this village doesn't have water, or it doesn't have clean water. They might have some water. Or it might not be so obvious, and you instead innovate. Probably the most staring example of innovation is the case of Steve Jobs, where Jobs is said to have said, people say, observe a need and respond to it. And then he says, who needed the iPhone before we made it? And you might say, nobody actually thought about it. Now, that's when innovative entrepreneurship comes in, that you innovate and bring up something new that might not have been thought about, but actually you predict and take the risk that people will realize that they appreciate it.
Okay.
So it might be entrepreneurship, might be enterprise that addresses an observed need. It might be innovation that brings in something new that people respond to. And therein lies the aspect of taking the risk. So you take the risk and the responsibility to start and grow enterprise that will address a particular need. That's entrepreneurship.
Yeah, actually, what I get the most important or the key word is identifying a need and solving it.
Yes, taking the risk and hoping that it will work. So identifying a need or solving it, taking the risk that it will work.
That it will work.
Allow me to just say that a lot of the time, especially our educated young people, have been very entrepreneurial. But unfortunately, they've been entrepreneurial from a social needs aspect without thinking about the sustainability. That's why we have a lot of the time written very good enterprise proposals to be funded by aid on a project basis. It is addressing need. It is addressing things that people want, that they actually need, but it's not sustainable. Entrepreneurship must think in terms of starting and being able to continue. So the profit aspect comes in. It's not that you just do social enterprise in terms of philanthropy. It must, even if it's addressing a social need, it should be able to sustain itself. And so profit becomes another key aspect of entrepreneurship.
So that means when you're solving this need, you're going to get some profit.
Yes.
But it has to be sustainable for you to get the profit. You know, in most cases, when we are starting the enterprises, we want to get profit immediately. But I think we need to think of the sustainability to get that profit. Okay, then that takes me to another question. Like in church, because we want us to enhance entrepreneurship in church. And you know, church is a very big community. So many people go and sit in church. Yes, the pastors and the church leaders and the fathers and all that, they have helped us to grow spiritually. But how can they help us also to grow these entrepreneurial skills? Like some churches encourage people to work. Yes, they talk about it, but they don't dive deeper. And you find that most of the Christians are doing shady work. Like the work is not real. Yet we are supposed to conquer the world as Christians. If we are to do businesses in areas of maybe in trade, maybe in hospital, maybe in hospitality, ours have to be excellent, but they are usually not excellent. So, how can churches effectively support and nurture entrepreneurial spirit among their people?
Thank you. Thank you, Diana. I think the first thing to realize, you say church is a big community, there are many people. The first thing to realize is that probably the biggest power, the biggest asset that church has is influence. It's influence.
Yeah.
We come to church, we come to prayer, we come to listen to the sermon. What we don't necessarily realize is that the priest, the church administration, the church elders are influencing us.
Yep.
But that's a very, very, very big asset, that influence. And so it becomes a question of what does the church influence us for? What does the church influence us towards? That's the one thing. Secondly, there is the question of knowledge and education. What could the church do in order to give us the right knowledge?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so you may find that you, Diana, and the church you go to, you discuss the Bible. How deeply do we discuss the Bible? Towards what? Growing up, we've always heard money is the root of all evil, something like that.
Yeah.
We've been told the rich man was told it's
That
harder.
you can sell everything.
Yeah, it's harder for a rich man to go to heaven than for a camel to go through the eye of the needle. I've written a poem about this. But the truth of the matter is, if you look in the Bible, there are many bits and pieces, whole verses that call upon us to be entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Even in Genesis, I don't like to quote the Bible so much. I'm not I can't say I am well educated.
It's okay.
But if you look in Genesis, when we are told to work, most people tend to look at it like it was a punishment. But actually, that's a call to enterprise, to work, to sustain ourselves. If you look at the parable of the talents, the master who gave 1, 2, 3 talents and went away, there is the question of the attitude of the workers. Being entrepreneurial, you've got to have a certain attitude. I talked about taking a risk. This one says, I knew you would demand, you even. So there is a negativity towards the master, and there is an unwillingness to take risk. Look at the one who took risks. And also in the Bible, it says, to him who does, more will be given. And who doesn't have, even the little they have, will be taken away. When you look at, let me talk a little bit about the Proverbs 31 woman, the one who goes out and harvests and
buys.
You are a lady, you are a wife. She does this and that and buys. But guess what? In all this, the first most important thing is that you don't lose sight of the Almighty. The way I understand going through the eye of the needle is that you should not take your eyes off the most important. And the most important is the Almighty. It is God.
Yeah.
As Christians, we are also supposed not to worry too much. He takes care of the birds, and the plants in the field are more well-dressed than Solomon.
That's true.
But guess what? I was not too long ago talking to the Pentecostal Assemblies of God at their headquarters in Bombo. Okay, they've got, maybe it's not the headquarters, but they've got like a center in Bombo.
Okay.
And I was with Mr. Charles Ochichi, the Chief Executive of Enterprise Uganda. And I said to the people who were listening to me that as Christians, we are not supposed to be worrying all the time. If we have today our daily bread, let's settle in our Christianity and believe that tomorrow will be all right and do our bit. After all, God will take care of the sparrows.
That's true.
You know what? When Mr. Chichi got up to speak, he said, that is true. God will take care of the sparrows. But guess what? The birds are up at 5 a.m. and they're singing praises to their maker. And you are snoring in bed until 7 o'clock. When you look at that aspect...
Tell them.
Yeah, when you look at that aspect, we are supposed to be entrepreneurial. We are supposed to not worry because the Lord will take care of us. But we're supposed to be up at 5. We're supposed to focus on the vertical rather than on the horizontal. The moment you start going on the horizontal, before you know it, you can't go through the eye of the needle. But if you focus on the center is so thin, it can go through anything. And so we're supposed to be entrepreneurial, the way I understand it. Now, when I go back to the influence of the church is supposed to educate us. It should send out that message to us that, look, don't be anxious. I keep telling my children, they're now adults, I keep telling them, look, I would like to make a little bit more money. My wife is the director of finance for our company. And I said to her, may I have a little bit of money? May I get an advance? And I'm systematically building towards something. And I said to the children, don't worry, we should make more money, but not under stress. It's supposed to be enjoyable to make money. And if you look in the Bible, you will see it there. As long as, now, the church should tell us that one of the most important things is personal entrepreneurship competencies. Diana,
personal entrepreneurship competencies.
Yes, personal entrepreneurship competencies. You and I, and everyone around us, should ask ourselves, where am I strong? What are my personal entrepreneurship competencies? One of them, most key, is honesty.
Honest.
Yeah.
Honest.
You're supposed to have integrity. Integrity comes from being integral, being entire. So you are not a different person here and a different person there. It should be that whether you're looking straight up, whether you're looking to the side, you are the same person.
Yeah, actually, that gives me the other question that I'm thinking about. Like, as people are doing entrepreneurship, yes, the church will influence us, like you have said, but then there is a tragedy of not balancing between faith and business.
Yeah.
So as we are talking about, talk about that as well.
Yes. And indeed, if you check, one of the most important things is what is called power in entrepreneurship. It has different aspects. And one of the things that becomes extremely important is personal relationship, teamwork. In all that to happen, one of the warnings you get, and you'll find it again in the Bible, is you should not sacrifice personal relationship for the sake of growing your business. So I'll cheat you as long as I advance my business. No, I will annoy you as long as I advance my business.
That's not
when
right.
you look at the technicalities of business, there's supposed to be such a thing as customer care or customer service. Essentially, it is saying treat the other person right. The Almighty, Jesus, washed the feet of the disciples. And they say, the customer is king. So don't endanger your family. Don't endanger your personal relationship. Don't endanger your relationship with God in order to advance your business. And the church should help us to see this. So we talk about being very upright, trying to live Christianity. I believe a lot in trying to live Christianity rather than to preach it. It's not easy, but the church is supposed to assist us to live Christianity, but at the same time, it's supposed to show us how that links into being enterprising.
That's true.
Let me mention 5 things that are key in business and leave it with the church.
Okay.
In business, these 5, we refer to them as pillars. There is a question of production. You produce a show, you produce online content, which is, and it's a service. Or you produce shoes, and it's a product. So production is key. Under that production, you find that we will say operations become extremely important. So the operations aspect, there is the marketing aspect, there is the finance aspect, and then there's the strategic thinking aspect.
Okay.
Now, if
production,
you combine
operation, marketing, and
finance and strategic planning.
Yeah. Okay.
In there, you put the human resource.